Hi everyone, welcome to today's session on SAP S4HANA Sales and Distribution. Based on SAP certification syllabus and job market requirements, this training is designed. Sales and distribution is one of the core modules of SAP for sales business processes in supply chain management. Order to cash is the main business process in sales and distribution. And SD module is used to make it more effective and efficient. So let's start, and in today's demo session, we will be discussing briefly about main aspects of sales and distribution module. I believe my voice is clear and screen is being shared. Please let me know in case if you face any technical issue. So, as mentioned, that this training has been designed as per SAP certification and syllabus. So, all main aspects are covered here. So, in this training, first we will be discussing about SAP business suites, because being SD consultant, we should be aware of some of the business suites like SAP ECC, SAP SCM, SRM, CRM, and other business suites. So, so we will be discussing brief about SAP S4HANA. Of course, this training is on SAP S4HANA 2020 release. Okay, so for knowledge purpose, we will be discussing about SAP ECC, SAP SCM, SAP SRM, and SAP CRM. So, so we will be starting our training with some technical aspects of SAP. If you look at the syllabus part here, yeah. So if we look at the syllabus part, so first we will be discussing, the introduction part, and then user interfaces. So in SAP S4HANA, we have two user interfaces. One is a graphical user interface, and another is Fiori app. So we will access SAP through remote desktop. So you can see here, this is the remote desktop, and we will have access to two different systems. One is ECC system and another is S4HANA. And in S4HANA, different releases. And our training will be on SAP S4HANA 2020, right? So, so that is the user interfaces which we will be discussing in topic number 2. Then technical aspects, which includes SAP system architecture, right? So that so we will be trying to understand technical architecture as well as the landscape architecture, right? Because the same architecture is used in ECC as well as in S4HANA. And there is a change in deployments, because here in S4HANA we have on-premise deployment option, cloud option, and hybrid option. In case of ECC, only on-premise deployment option is available. After discussing technical aspects, we will start with functional aspects. So in functional aspects, first we need to understand enterprise structure, right? So whenever we are using for any company, company has its own structure, right? And that structure we will be defining in the SAP. For example, let's say if the company is using 3 modules, let's say it is using 3 modules like MM, SD, and FICO, then here we have the organizational structure of MM, SD, and CO. Then it becomes the enterprise structure, right? So if this is just for demonstration purpose, right? So whatever modules they are using for those modules, if we define the organizational structure, and then when we combine organizational structure of these modules, it becomes enterprise structure, right? So in this enterprise, after understanding the concept of enterprise structure in SAP, we will discuss about client, company code. Okay, so that we will be discussing under topic number 3, enterprise structure. Okay, then we will move to organizational structure, because the organizational units like plant, storage locations, we will be using in our SD module, right? So like in our sales orders and other transactions. So from that point of view, we will try to understand organizational structure, right? So in topic number 3, we will be discussing in detail about organizational structure and its organizational units. Then we will be starting with SD module related topics, and we will first start with SD organizational structure. So in sales and distribution module, and you can see this is the sales and distribution organizational structure, and in this structure there are 6 organizational units, like sales organization, which is the highest level, and then distribution channel, division, right? And the unique combination of sales organization, distribution channel, division is called as sales area. Okay, and sales office, sales group, so these are also organizational units. However, sales office and sales group, these are optional organizational units in sales and distribution model. After understanding the SD organizational structure, we will be discussing about SD master data and configuration. So in SD master data and configuration, we will be discussing about material master from SD point of view, right? So because from SD point of view, we will be dealing with finished product and trading goods, because there are so many material types which are available, like raw materials, semi-finished products, pipeline material, and so many materials are available. From SD point of view, we will be dealing with finished product, FERP, and the trading goods, HAWA. So we will be discussing in detail about those material types. And excuse me. So in SD, in master data, we will be discussing about material master and then business partner. So this is the new functionality which is added in SAP S4HANA business partner transaction to create customer master. Unlike ECC, in ECC we have different transactions to create customer master. But in S4HANA, BP transaction is used to create customer master, even like from point of view, vendor master, right? So all these the entity with which, a legal entity with which our company deals is considered as business partner in SAP. Okay, and that entity is created or maintained or defined using this transaction business partner. Okay, and business partner, we can say that this is one of the delta change in S4HANA compared to ECC. For example, if we look at this one, let me open systems to show you business partner functionality here. Connecting. Yeah, so yeah, now let's log in. Right. So if you remember here, if we compare with ECC, here in ECC we have different transactions to create, right? So for example, customer, to create customer VD01, right? So, create customer VD01, right? And then from centrally XD01. So these are the transactions which are available, right? So we can see this transaction here, but when we click on this one, it will take us to BP transaction, and it is showing that redirecting to transaction BP as transaction VD01 is obsolete. So if we click on this one, it will take us to the business partner transaction, right? Using this transaction, customer master is created. However, and as I said, using this transaction, vendor master and other legal entities are created. So there is a object called business partner role, right? So which is actually differentiate between customers, vendors, and other legal entities, other entities with which our company does business transaction. So for example, like here, if I would like to create a customer master using this business partner, then this FLCU00, right? So FLCU00 is the role, and here general data and company code data is there, and then another role FLCU01 here general data and sales data, sales and distribution data, right? So this is one of the master data which we will be discussing here, and there are some other master data like customer info record, customer material info record, common master data, all master data, all SD master data we will be discussing in detail. Okay. After understanding the SD master data, we will start with SD sales documents and configuration. SD sales documents and configuration. So in this, so we will be discussing how these sales document. So here in SD sales and SD sales documents and configuration, first we will try to understand sales and distribution. What is sales and distribution from sales and distribution domain point of view? Okay, and then we will be discussing about different cycles like inquiry to invoice, quotation to cash, and order to cash. So in SAP S4HANA or in SAP, you can see here the SAP order to cash process. So this is the SAP order to cash process, and it is divided into different phases. For example, like pre-sales phase. In pre-sales phase, like when inquiry, quotation, all comes under pre-sales phase, right? And with reference to inquiry and quotation, when sales orders are created, or with reference to the contract, when sales orders are created, which are called as release orders, then it comes under order process, right? And then based on the delivery date, the shipping is processed and the shipping phase starts. And in the shipping phase, we have outbound delivery, good issue, and shipment, and that comes under the shipping phase. And finally, after delivering to the customer, of course, billing phase starts. In the billing document is created, which is, and the common billing document is invoice, right? So this is the order to cash process, and in this order to cash process, we as SD consultant, we need to make sure that this process is automated as much as possible and efficient, right? So in order to make it automated and more efficient, we will be, discussing how these sales documents like inquiry, quotation, sales order, contract, scheduling agreement, billing document, and the deliveries, how these documents are designed, right, using the configuration. So here, in order to design them, we need to understand the processes, right? So as you can see here, for this order to cash process, so here we have the buyer processes and the supplier processes, right? So in this supplier processes, we have order to cash, and from our customer's point of view, this is the buyer processes, and that is in this one. This is from customer point of view. Okay. So if we look at different business processes here, and the make to stock, right? So from make to stock point of view, we can see how different departments. So here we have different modules, right? So different departments, like for sales department, we have sales and distribution module. For procurement department, we have module. For production department, we have PP module. And in these modules, we have different processes. Like in sales, we have order to cash. In we have procure to pay. In SD, plan to production, right? So if you look at this one, how these modules are integrated in different processes. This is also a part of our syllabus, and here we will be discussing and taking into consideration different scenarios like make to order, make to stock. Okay. And yeah, so master data we discussed. Yeah. So talking about designing sales documents, right? So here, different sales documents which are divided into different pre-sales phase. We have inquiry, quotations, right? All right. So, and there are some standard document types here, like IN for inquiry, QT for quotation. Similarly, for the sales phase, here, OR for standard order, right? And then CF for consignment, CS for cash sales order, that we will be discussing about the different document types which are used in the sales. Similarly, when it comes to outline agreement, we have QC for quantity contract, okay, and WK1 for general value contract. And for complaints or returns, we have RE, right? So these are the standard document types. So here, first we will try to understand the standard document types, and then as per business requirement, how we can define or create our own sales document types that we will be discussing. And these document types controls, the number assignment, some the fees and all. So that we will be discussing. Okay. And here, here in the documents, we will also be discussing about the document flow, how the information flows from one document to another. For example, let's say if we are creating a sales order with reference to a quotation, then how the information will flow. And similarly, if we are creating a quotation with reference to inquiry, then how the information flows from inquiry to quotation. For this, here in SD, we have copy control. So copy control functionality, with the help of copy control functionality, we will be controlling the header level information, item level information, right? So after discussing sales documents and configuration, right? So here we will see how the sales orders are processed, right? Item categories, schedule lines, copy control, lock for incomplete items. These are the some of the subtopics of creating, processing, and controlling. Okay. After understanding of sales documents, we will be discussing about the shipping. Shipping, as just discussed, which is the third phase after order processing. So in this shipping, here, we will try to understand what is distribution first, and then logistics execution, right? And then shipping process, delivery, right? Picking, packing, good issue, and finally the shipment. So these we will be discussing in detail in shipping topic, which is the third phase in sales and distribution. After shipping, once the products are delivered to the customer, of course, we need to bill to the customer, right? So for billing, related to billing, we will be discussing in detail about what is billing, the different billing documents, how billing documents are created, different billing methods, right, and different billing plans. So all these, so in this way, the different these topics will be covering different phases. Okay, and besides this one, there are some other functionalities which are important part of sales and distribution, like price control and valuation, right? For example, like sale SD, pricing, procedure, and configuration, right? So how to control pricing in sales and distribution, right? So that we will be discussing under the topic SD, pricing, procedure, and configuration. In order to understand this particular functionality, we will discuss price control and valuation. So in this one, we will try to understand pricing components, right? So price control and determination, and the condition technique, because in pricing, procedure, and configuration, even in the output determination, we will be using the condition technique. So here the concept of condition technique and its related configuration we will be discussing. Okay, and then of course the tax procedure and configuration, output determination. So in output, we will see how we can communicate with our customers or the stakeholders, right? How the information will be shared with them. For example, let's say as soon as the order is confirmed, then the order confirmation must be shared with our customer, right? Or right. So how that information will be shared, like it will be through email or through EDI or through fax. So that we will be discussing in output determination. And finally, integration with other modules, right? Because sales and distribution module is closely integrated with MM, right? FICO, PP, right? So and PP even, yeah. So MM as MM, FICO, PP and WM. So warehouse management. So here SAP WM or SAP EWM, right? So integration with other modules. So this is also part of this one, and we will also discuss about SAP data and SAP database tables, and database tables related to SD module. Okay, so these are the main concepts which we will be which will be covered in the training. Okay, and the duration of this training is 50 hours. So and it will be covered in 30 sessions, each session of 1.5 to 2 hours. Okay, and you don't need to make any notes during the training because we have our own customized study material, right? So for example, let's say here, let's say if we are discussing about any topic, if I can say, let's say SD organizational structure, like this, all topics. So we have our own customized study material. So this study material I will be referring during the sessions, and after the session you will receive these study material along with the video recordings, and that's a comprehensive study material with complete information, which includes the theoretical concepts, right? For example, what is sales organization from SD point of view, okay, and its functions, the configurations which are carried out related to sales organization, database tables related to it. Not only this one, wherever transactions are required, how the transaction, the most commonly used transactions, all details are used. For example, let's say material master. What is material master? Okay, and then department views in the material master, right? So different department, and who is responsible for maintaining these views. For example, there are views related to accounting, purchasing, sales, warehouse, and all. So from SD point of view, the sales department is responsible for maintaining the business related information related to sales, right? So the sales information. Okay, so here this information, and along with so there are so many material types in MM, right? However, in material in MM, but we will be discussing in detail about finished product and trading goods, because these two material types we will be dealing with these two material types. So from SD point of view, right? And then if you look at the details, comprehensive information related to each topic, subtopic, and objects are provided. For example, like material master. So what are the commonly used transactions related to material master, right? Because from SD point of view, we will not be doing the transactions, the configurations related to material master. So that is the reason why the transactions are not included here. The database tables related to material master, all the information. Similarly, business partner, as just discussed, right? What is business partner, right? And how customer master is created using business partner. What are the business partner functions which are used, right? Here we have sold to party, ship to party, bill to party, right? So these are the partner functions related to customer. Then configurations related to business partner. What are the configurations steps which are carried out related to business partner, right? And then customer master, because here the system is going to create two numbers, one number for business partner and another number for customer, right? Another number for customer, right? So that is the reason why here you can see here we have the customer master. So here we have customer account groups and all details, right? So all the important information is included. So it means you don't need to go to Google or YouTube to look for any other information. So relevant comprehensive information for all the topics are included in this document. Okay. Right. So this is about the syllabus, right? So we will be providing our own comprehensive customized SAP documents, and we will also share some of SAP press books what we have. But SAP press books are not user friendly. That is the reason why we have our own customized study material. And for domain knowledge, you will also get supply chain management book from our side. Right. So right after every session, you will receive these documents and the video recordings. And this training on SAP S4HANA 2020 server, and you will get access to the same server, right? So as you can see here, you will get access to different servers like ECC, and then in S4HANA different releases. So this is about the syllabus, right? Yeah. Any question? Right. So in today's demo session, I wanted to discuss about I wanted to discuss briefly about the main aspects of SD and the syllabus, right? So and of course about the servers and the systems, right? So that's all for today. In case any question, then I can address. Otherwise, we can conclude today's session. So let's conclude today's session. Thank you very much for attending, and see you in the next. Thank you.